picks.
Yep.
Jaquan Brisker.
Good news, guys. We're going to cover 5 safeties and 5 corners, and this position group, both of them, far superior to the running back and quarterback positions we just talked about. So at least these are guys I could see probably close to all 10 of these potentially as first round. Maybe like Brisker here as our number 5 safety might not be a first rounder in my mind, maybe a second rounder. But that the comp is Micah Hyde, which is he's Micah Hyde. He should be a first rounder based off of kind of a jack of all trades. Not super explosive as an athlete, but he can kind of do it all. He's good in the run game, help and support there. 6'1", 199. I'd like them to, pretty good size there. 4.49's fine, but not great. I think he might fit better in like a cover 2 scheme where he can be a safety where only he has to cover half the field versus, single high. I don't know if he has the range to cover in single high safety situations. But a guy that can, really smart, really heady guy, athletic to a degree, can really provide some nice pieces. But overall, he's going to be a starter. He's going to be a starter in this league. There's no doubt about that. Is he going to be a Pro Bowler is the question. I doubt that, but a solid starter right here. In Jaquan Brisker.
Projected at rounds 2 and 3 as of right now. He's a talented player, speed, instinct, versatility. He's willing to get physical out there. He's recorded 43 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 4 passes broken up in 2021. He gets banged up with receivers a little bit, but you know what? I think NFL teams will be interested in this guy. I think he's going to be a well-rounded, talented safety, good with run defense and some decent cover skills. So I think he can be right there in the mix for, one of the better players coming out. Next up, Jalen Petrie. Did I say that right?
Petrie.
By the way, who was the guy who was giving Olivare the other night? I heard
Olivare. Are you talking about
Olave? Yeah. The other night, people were giving me crap for Olave, and then I heard one of the top. Who's the guy that they do the? Oh man, what's his name? Mel Kiper and Tom McShay said Olave. I'm like, hey, if I had the Spanish spin to it, and I got crap.
Maybe I'm wrong, Chris. I'm pretty sure it's not Olave though. I wanted to say Olave originally too, but I don't think it's Olave.
Anyways, I digress. I like to defend my awful pronunciation of athletes' names. DB cool. Trivia: what UT Martin DB won multiple Super Bowls as a GM? Ooh. By the way,
know that from the UT Martin side of things.
By the way, Reckoning, I'm going to connect with you on trivia. By the way, trivia is coming up soon. We have some questions that we already have in place, but Reckoning comes up with some great ones. He's going to help us out. So I'll connect with you, Reckoning, this week. So Tom McShay. Anyways, what do you got here? Safety Baylor, 5'11", 198 pounds. Javon Holland is our player comp for our number 4 ranked safety.
Super high floor with Holland, or with you said, or well, I was saying Holland because you comped him to Holland. Petrie here, Petrie, whatever his name is. I don't know why I keep saying Petrie. I'm pretty sure it's Petrie. Super high floor, not super high ceiling. Kind of a jack of all trades. You can put him in different spots, but he played a lot. He actually started as like a linebacker safety hybrid at Baylor before transitioning to a little bit more, obviously at 198, moving to the safety role. Great downhill ability. Super heady guy. Very, very smart. Can address what needs to be done. Can find reads and assess and flies to the football. Great tackler. A good blitzer. You can kind of put him anywhere. Yeah, degrees. He's more of a hybrid safety corner nickel. I think, as far as coverage wise, you can throw him in the slot. He's not obviously going to, cover on the outside, but a slot guy that can cover guys pretty solidly on the interior. hasn't had to guard guys down the field necessarily, but has shown like his athleticism has shown that he can do that. I like Petrie a lot. I like the safety group a lot. He's a guy that's borderline late first, gonna go in the second worst case scenario, and a guy that balled out of Baylor.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's definitely going to be a solid player. He was a good college player, faces some limitations in the NFL. I mean, right now he's receiving some late round grades. I mean, he's between 3 and 5 overall ranked at
What?
this.
I thought you meant round.
Or yeah, round. Yeah.
What? Who's ranking that? Who are you looking at?
I mean, I got a couple of different spots that are kind of like
he's not going in any of those rounds.
Interesting. You got him a little higher than 3 then, huh?
Oh, he's going definitely in the second.
Okay. All right. But there's a lot of media hype about him, so that accounts for something. I think everything that you mentioned, he's definitely primed for a pretty decent NFL career. But here, I mean, I go off a couple different ones, but this particular list, has him rounds 3 to 5, based off of just some of the attributes they have him. I think they maybe base it off of some of his physical stats or physical attributes. Maybe, I don't know. It doesn't really give a complete list here.
We can talk about this later, but I don't know who's saying that, but they're wrong.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Let's see. For the trivia question, you're going to be shocked that you didn't guess the GM. I don't know. I'm trying to think. So the original trivia question.
Damn it.
Do you know it?
Damn it, Cuban. No, but Cuban. Oh, for the trivia question, you're going to be shocked that you didn't guess the GM. I just don't know anyone that went to UT Martin. I couldn't name a single human being that went to UT Martin, so I don't know how I would start to guess the GM. Cuban Benny, welcome.
Welcome,
time,
Cuban.
Watched all his games in college. The home announcers always pronounce it like blank, not like blank. So that is probably the correct way.
That could be pronounced like Olave, not like Olave, or
is it Olave
or Olave, not like Olave?
Because
it's all the same. It's all the same. Olave, Degrees says.
Degrees thinks it's Olave. Maybe I was wrong on that one.
It's calling me out.
I don't know.
You can't name me. Damn.
Cuban, I'll touch on you later, but well, that's a weird thing to say. I got a thing for you, Cuban, as far as it's weird to say. I try and put it in a not weird way, and I can't do it. So just hang in here, Cuban, and I'll touch on something a little bit later in this stream. Once we talk about the NBA.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so here we are. Next up on our list here, Lewis Sign? Don't do this to me. Safety Georgia, 6'2", 199, 4.37. Harrison Smith is a player comp, so comes in at number 3 on our secondary safety list. Heyo, happy Easter. I'm psyched. Let's go, Cuban.
I love this dude. I love Louis. I'm gonna call him Louis. That's just my name for him.
Oh, Louis.
Obviously played on an elite defense at Georgia, dominant defense. This dude's a tone setter. He will attack. He will drive on the ball. He can hit. He can develop, diagnose plays and make the right reads. He's a baller. We rank him at 3. I think most people have him at the 3-4 as far as safeties. I might lean to him over even our second guy here. I love his mentality. I love his aggression. I love his physicality. And he's 4.37. So he's a guy that can cover all spaces of the field. His biggest concern right now is he cheats a little too much. Like he gets a little too aggressive at times and gets caught out of position at times, basically, cheating a little bit. So, but that's part of his mentality that also creates plays is him cheating. It works a lot of times. A couple times it doesn't work. So I like him. I like another guy. I like a guy I could see late first Definitely second round, Chris. I don't know if you have him. Your guys have him like 6th or 7th round, maybe.
It's late first. Late first to second. So yeah, late first to second. Valuable defender, locking down deep middle field, 73 tackles, interception, and 9 passes batted. As a sophomore, 2020, he had 52 tackles, 3 passes broken up. I mean, he's just a production beast, man. He's all over the place. His combine, had a high football IQ, which you love to see in the secondary, right? So I think that this is a big opportunity to get a really solid player for any team who's looking for some help to shore up that secondary. So, 666. Sorry, I sometimes we forget some of these, but I had a question you threw out a couple times. I'd love to ask you this, guys. OKC right now have 25 draft picks. Does that guarantee good players? And is this a good way to rebuild a team? Sorry, no spam. I think yes and maybe no. I mean, but mainly yes. Overall, the more you have, the better opportunity you have to hit a big time player. So, and some of those are, higher end picks, right? So I think anytime you have top picks, the probabilities of you getting a good player is that much higher. So it's a scouting thing. There are some teams that draft better than others, right? I mean, so if you have a team that doesn't draft well, now I don't think the OKC has that issue. They've drafted some nice talent over the last couple of years. So I like a lot of the guys that they've put in place there. A lot of good young talent there. So I'm not worried about that. So in reality, I think it's overall a good thing for you.
If you can fire on 25 picks like that, getting a ton of picks, of course, that's a good mentality to kind of fire at and figure out
Cuban Benny,
develop your team.
It guarantees a full roster.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Right. Number 1 safety on our list, Daxton Hill, safety out of Michigan.
Number 2, Chris.
Oh, number two. Number 2. Wow. I'm like off right here. Number 2.
You see, I'm pointing at it now. You see it.
Trust the process. 6 foot, 191, 438. Darnell Savage is a player comp here. Safety out of Michigan. Hit us with it, Scotty.
Yeah, Dax is kind of a jack of all trades. He can do it all. He's rangy, but he's physical, super versatile. I like him a lot too. And most projections have him. We have him at 2 and have him as the second. Part of me likes Louis behind us. I really like his mentality. But Daxton Hill, Dax for short. My only question is if you line him on slot, the hips aren't necessarily what I'd like to see from a coverage ability as far as turning the hips, but everything else he can literally do. You can put him in the box. He'll be aggressive there. He can hit. He's smart. He's athletic. You can put him deep. He has the speed at 4.38 to cover a wide range. He's gonna be a great safety and a first rounder.
Yep. I think he's got some decent size. He's blazing fast. He's super quick. 69 tackles in 2021, 2 interceptions, 8 passes broken up. In 2019, 36 tackles and an interception, 3 passes defended. So, again, his quickness, flexibility, fluid athleticism, I think is all there. He could line up at the line of scrimmage or, do different things. He's very versatile. So, but yeah, the tape of Hill as a safety is not as impressive compared to when he played nickel corner. So, there's some other, things that might, you might want to just be wary of there. But outside of that, really solid guy overall here at number 2. Finally, realistically, number 1 now is Kyle Hamilton, safety, Notre Dame, 6'4", 220, 4.59, 40 equivalent or player comp to Derwin James. Pretty good.
On tape, this dude is insane. This dude is one of the best safeties on tape you'll ever watch. He can do it all. He's got range. He's got intelligence. He's got size, length, change of direction is all there. Derwin James, obviously, when healthy, is one of the the best safety talents we've seen in a long time. Plays for the Chargers out of Florida State. Super elite guy. Kyle Hamilton, before the combine and before the testing, some people on tapes called him the best player in the draft.
Pretty good.
I wasn't there for that. I'm not there. I'm not sold on that. First of all, I don't value safety enough to do something. Maybe just the best player at his position. But safety's not someone I wouldn't take in the top 5 unless he's crazy special. And here's the problem with Kyle Hamilton. It's on our screen. His 40. His 40 was 4.59. That's actually terrible for a guy that's going to go in the top half of the first round. The last 2 we just had were in the high 4.3s. And now we got a 4.59 guy that we're supposed to just trust the tape on. You definitely can. And he's shown it at Notre Dame. I wouldn't be excited if my team drafted this guy. And I could be super wrong. I could be very, very wrong. Safety for me isn't like a high priority position on your team. It's important, but it's not one of the top 6 positions, at least, on your team. So if I'm investing in a guy in the top half of the first round at that position, I need to make sure he's going to be elite of the elite. And that 4.59 40 scares me to death.
Yeah, 31 tackles, 3 interceptions, 3 passes defended in 2021. Knee injury is what got him here, tackling USC's Drake London, who we talked about on our last show, which had him out for the rest of the season. So, while he worked out before the draft, he's a little slower on the 40. But he's a difference maker. He can be a potential difference maker for a team. And that's a big factor here as well. Do you guys ever have European players drafted for the NFL like the NBA? It's not a thing really. Everyone's
basically in college.
Everyone's in college here. College football,
draft at least.
Yep.
Sometimes there's some random rugby players that might get signed or things of that nature, but the furthest we go outside of America is Canada. That's about it.
Yeah, Canada's about it. So not really a lot. And football's not big out there, right? So or at least NFL, American football, it's just not a thing that's. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's some people out there that are really, getting things rolling, but I don't think it's a big enough thing. 40 means nothing. It's not in game speed at all. But I do see concern, says Degrees.
Yeah, I agree on tape. It doesn't look like a concern, but it's hard to ignore.
We got the rugby player that signed to the Eagles is a stud. Morris Bowringer got drafted once. He didn't do anything in the NFL. What's your opinion? Because no difference, but NFL players can learn a few things from rugby.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like being a lot